Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome back to some 6 Siege, the board game unboxings. This is, of course, unboxings for the game-based Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. You can check out, in case you're wondering, that I have 4 parts to the base game. We did part 1 where we went over just an overview of what the game itself is. Then we have videos 2 and 3, which go over the rules. 2 videos is pretty extensive. It's not full exactly how to play, but I do go try and hit every single aspect of the rule and how the game is played. Then video 4 is we actually go through all the different operators. So yeah, video 4, I think maybe video, and it's just video 4 for that. So yeah, we're gonna hop into this. That way, if you guys, we're gonna start going through the different boxes. Each different year or expansion will be its own different video. But I'm just letting you know what the previous ones, which I'll link in the descriptions in case you want to head back and check out one of those first. So you see what the rules are, see what the core operators do, or the different gadgets, because I'll try and explain them a little bit while I go through stuff in here, but I'm not going to deep dive too much into each of those. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start this video. Alright, we're going to start with year 1. Reinforce is the name of this. It's the yellow box. Each box is one coloring name, which is really nice. So these are the 8 new characters we're all going to get. Plus, each box is also going to have its own alternate figure as well. So let's go ahead and hop into that. So we do have a little component sheet here we're going to get, which will have the hidden defender tokens, plus all the Overwatch, any other relevant tokens, plus we have like cameras and stuff like that to build. Plus we will have all of the different bases for each character. Now, there is no ring for the alternate characters. There never will be. Except for in the one box, there's actually some, but generally there won't be any, because you can't have 2 of the same characters out, so they didn't bother to make one. So we're going to look at Haibana first. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus in on the miniature here. There we go. Kinda cool. She's all like decked out in a hoodie. To watch, the guys are all in big old tactical gear. I do love the action pose. It's got a couple big old massive gun there, actually. Alright, and then what does she do for us? So these are our attackers in the blue. So like the previous video for the operators, I won't be going over the weapon range or the run, destroy, health, all that too much, except to note that all the characters have somewhere between 4 to 6 health. I haven't seen anyone outside that range yet. We're just going to focus on their abilities. So we have the X-Kairos Grenade Launcher. So you spend a charge to action for a throwable. Perform a destroy icon in the targeted space. So very nice. 2 extra charges. I mean, it's nothing super crazy, but it is enough to let you destroy anything of any level. So you get rid of them big, heavy, reinforced walls, your big shields that the defenders put up. Or break into a building a little bit quicker because you don't have to go around a certain wall. Because most defenders can't just shoot through regular walls, so you have to use one of their things. But yeah, no extra die roll or anything for that either. So that's actually pretty handy. Cool. We're going to kind of fly right through some of these. There's not too much time we need to spend on them. Up next, we have Tapatio. Oh, well, again, look at this. It's got an eye patch on and a crossbow. Just definitely love. It's so cool about this. Very highly detailed miniatures. Lots of detail on each character, pockets, all this stuff. Plus different weaponry. Yeah, I think you start playing this enough, you probably start figuring out exactly who's who just by quickly looking at them. So he starts with a tactical crossbow, which is a throwable with a fire overlay. So he's going to get the fire overlay. So there is an extra one in the box for him, plus the other side that has the T-cross. Operators in space that contain fire overlay immediately sustain 1 orange die of damage. Remember, an operator enters a space containing a fire overlay or ends an action in one, they sustain fire. It's kind of weird. I don't know why it's called a tactical crossbow when it's throwing fire. It should have been like fire arrows. Something like that would have made a little bit more sense. I'm trying to think of who was in the base set that had the fire. I know it was Tachanka. I was trying to remember. Yeah, so he was in orange, so he was a defender. So now if you get him, you could have both defenders and attackers have guys that could throw fire, basically. Which is very helpful, right? You have it one on each side, so it's not just a one-sided ability. And you can do it 3 times. Just basically, you can choose a spot and throw it. And throwable is up to 6 spaces. So, yeah, you can... Even if you're not hit someone, you can always block and exit from them. Or an escape point or whatever you need to do with them. Or a preventable spot, like, hey, we're trying to rescue a hostage, right? And we're pulling them out. Or we're in the room with the bomb and, like, throw fire in front of that door. At least till the end of that turn, the defenders, neither one of their actions, they can get through there without sustaining damage. So they have to decide, do they take the orange hit of dice damage, or do they, you know, try and go around their wait a turn? They might not be able to afford to wait that turn. So that's pretty cool. Alright, up next we have Blackbeard. This is definitely a cool miniature. I love this. Shield, rifle shield. Again, I still say it's very interesting. We've had 3 guys with shields, and they've all been attackers. You think the defenders would be the ones that want shields, right? Like, just shields for defense would definitely make more sense. But all the attackers have had the big giant shields. So his rifle shield is a reaction. Blackbeard ignores 2 hits when targeted by shots. He has to spend a charge to do it. But that basically means he can survive up to 4 extra hits. So that essentially gives him, 9 HP. Which is pretty nice. I can't use to hide other people, but the fact is that means he can run out and attack people more, and since he has that really good range, he has decent has good damage for a short range too, just not as many die, but yeah, he's up to that long distance. He can kind of stand out and shoot guys in the spine if he takes it. Also means that he can afford to probably maybe hop out into an overlay room, or an Overwatch room, and take the repose damage. Hey, that guy's watching it. Fine, I'll step out. They get a free shot on him. He gets to block 2 of that damage. He'll most likely survive the first hit, and then he can technically do it the next time too. If he then fires and they just shoot him again if he doesn't kill him. So that's actually a pretty neat way to do that. Cool. So our last of the main 4 attackers, slide these down so they're kind of thick, is Buck, who I believe, if I looked this up right, he is Canadian, which made me kind of laugh. But of course, the guy named Buck would either be Canadian or Minnesotan. But that's the reason is decked out. These guys have so many pockets. So it's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus a backpack. There's a 7th one there, plus who knows how many more he has on his chest. But yeah, he's got like the little winter hat. I call it the winter gear. But yeah, right there, you got the Canadian flag on him. And he's going to get a special little token. Of course, it has his symbol on it, so we know that it's his. He has skeleton key. Spending action, line of sight, or vertical. So vertical means if he's up in the top, he can shoot down into those rooms that have the little arrows on them. Place a hold ceiling token in a targeted space. Targeted space must be free. Spaces containing hold ceiling tokens are treated as entryway tokens. Entryway Overwatch tokens can be placed on them, but the operator cannot use them to move to and from the upper floors. Hold ceiling tokens are not gadgets and are indestructible. Oh, that adds like a full new element to the game, right? So that means he can basically be in a room. He can shoot into a spot, right, and I'll make that an open room, and then now he can shoot down into whoever's below them. Or because he can overwatch just that area too, and then just shoot guys. But he can do it like into a doorway. Like shoot right into like the beginning of a doorway. Now anyone that has to enter or exit, he gets a free shot on, right? That's actually pretty cool. And he gets 3 of those, so he can actually help like set one up for his teammates and then run. The only downside would be is that they're there, the defenders can use them as well. I mean, it's not like a terrible downside, but it is something to keep in mind. Just if you're dropping them and you're moving across, it could possibly be used against you. Alright, then finally for the attackers, we have our alternate character. Scoot that down. We have alternate Habana, and kind of like a I would say kind of like an Oni type mask. So it's like she put her big giant gun, her rocket launcher on her back, and she pulled her the gun, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, she's got kind of like an Oni type, very Japanese look to her. So again, these are all just alternate skins that, like, you're playing the game, you can switch the skins. And if we look at her regular card, all her regular ability, her grenade launcher is the same. She just has some different attacks. So her destroy, she goes up to orange. And then her attack is usually kind of flips a little bit. So she has a couple more dice and a little bit better colors, so it's orange and red in the closer range, but she loses some of her long range stuff. And her mid range isn't as good. So yeah, it kind of depends, I guess. Which one do you want to play? Do you want to have her close up range doing more damage, or do you want to have her a little bit mid to long range? But definitely cool. We get alternate ones. This should be a cool idea of, like, even if you don't have the alternate skins for every character, it would have been kind of cool to at least have like alternate profile cards for every character. And I get there's like, in the end, there's like, after you go through every box, there's like almost 40 characters, so I get it. Because really all you're changing is you're changing some of their attacks and stuff. And it can let you use the same guy at a different range. Because all of a sudden now, if I'm using this version, her grenade launcher is cool, but like she's trying to be more close range to 1 to 3. Versus the other one, she's trying to be mid to long range, so 4 to 6 or 7. So where you're going to position them to use their attacks versus where you're going to use them to use their special abilities could definitely make a difference. Just as another idea there, like even Buck here, right? Obviously he can do big damage at 7, rolling 2 red dice, but he also gets 2 red dice at range 1, so he's going to want to get right up next to you and shoot down, like, straight down towards you. Now, if you gave him the other option, like you made him, like, a mid or long range character, his whole skeleton key thing wouldn't make as big of a deal for him, right? But yeah, so it's kind of cool. Alright, let's hop into our defenders. Into the orange team. So we're going to start with Taviera. Focusing on there. She's got a big old silencer on her gun, it looks like. Obviously, like, the picture shows her having a bunch of face paint on. They don't put that on the miniature. I'd love to see someone that paints this and paints that paint on there. That'd be really cool. So she has Questioning Knife. Whenever Taviera eliminates an opposing operator, all remaining opposing operators receive a located marker. That's kind of neat. This is the first character that's had 2 separate abilities on their card. Everyone else has just had the one. Usually it's a charge ability, cost something, or it was a setup thing, and then how to use it during the setup. And she's the first one that technically has 2 separate abilities. Although it's, whether she eliminates someone or not. But that might give you the reason to let her do the final blow to someone versus someone else, because all of a sudden, oh, she got rid of a buck, and now, you know, Hayabana is revealed, and you can see her through the smoke, right? And then someone else can take her out from another side. So it's kind of cool. Action from Silent Step. From your upper floor area, perform a shoot action, short range, light protection, targeting a located operator in the opposing upper floor area. Oh, that's interesting. From the upper floor, perform a shoot action. Because normally in the upper area, you just don't really see the other people. But this technically lets her... if you do the first one, she eliminates someone, she can now take out someone else on the top. That's kind of an interesting thing. I wonder how else you could locate someone in the upper floor. I suppose if they were located and then they ran upstairs, they would stay located for that turn. That's actually a really interesting ability. Like, and that's what makes these characters and all the different operas stuff really cool, is because some situations might work better, some combinations might work better or worse. Sometimes it might be fun just to randomly select all the characters and see who you get. That'd be kind of neat. Alright, let's see what we got next. We have Valkyrie. We're getting a couple of ladies in the set, which is always nice. You know, for being a shooter game, it's not like just male soldiers, so that's always good. Plus, they're not like, you know, scantily clad or something, you know. Like, they're all wearing armor and gear. I'm trying to say armory and mix the words together. She's got her little camera gun there, and she's got her hooded cloak. Definitely like for camouflage. So she is going to get black eye cameras. So we will get these. So these little ball cameras, but they're going to have always visible because they're high. Any of the tall ones are always visible. Electronics and a yellow destroy, and we will get 3 of those. So she has black eye cameras that during setup place a maximum of 1 black eye camera on a section of a heavy wall. Then during her action, she has 2 throwables. Place a black eye camera on a section of a heavy wall in targeted space. All opposing operators in the room containing targeted space receive a located marker. Black eye cameras behave like standard cameras. So just the difference is that she can take the extra 2 she has, and she can throw them and set them up somewhere else. Because generally people don't have, not many other characters set up cameras outside of the setup mode. So you gotta kind of plan way ahead. And here's just kind of neat, because if you really need them. And then this could work well with Caveira we just saw, because if they give located markers and then they run upstairs, so you could throw it in a room that, there's an upstairs room someone's going to, you could throw it in there. Or just imagine playing these 2 groups against each other. Was that Buck? Yeah, Buck shoots a hole in the ceiling, right? So you know where someone's at. Like, hey, look, he's shot there, so they're going to probably go up into that room. Throw a camera in that room for when someone tries to go up or down there. Could be very interesting. So that's pretty cool. Throwable cameras. Just an extra little twist on what was already out there. Alright, our 4th defender is Frost. There's Frost, who has some sort of baton type of weapon. I'm not really even sure what that is. I mean, it looks like a gun, I would imagine. Come on, camera, focusing. Yeah. Maybe like a breaching tool? Not sure. Does have something nobody else has. Actually has something on their base. Which is, I'm guessing, the welcome mats. Which is what his ability is. Sorry, her ability. It looks like it's another lady. So there's welcome mats here. It says reaction. After entering adjacent space to an obstacle, an opposing operator sustains 2 hits. The opposing operator may spend an extra action to ignore the effect. So basically, you're like assuming you've placed these down somewhere in the game. When they walk next to an obstacle, you can basically be like, oh, you stepped on my welcome mat you didn't see. So they're kind of like mines that you put on the floor, but your opponent doesn't actually see where they are. But then, yeah, they may spend their extra action to do it, but that might be their second action for the turn. So, but yeah, 2 hits is pretty nasty. That's kind of fun. I do wonder why it wasn't, like, placed, like, set up, placed. I get maybe why it wasn't placed 2 tokens, because there could be, like, 10 objects in the game, and then you'd be very easy to, like, even if you somehow had them be big enough to cover 1 or 2 spaces on the board, like to cover underneath that obstacle, like you had to put it under, there's like 1 or 2 tiles, it'd be easy enough to probably avoid that one thing, right? Whereas here it's basically like, oh, wherever it is. So, I get it. It makes sense. Alright, our last defender and our last character in this box is Echo. Echo looks like he's going to do some ninjutsu there. Has a giant drone on his back, though. Some kind of drone, it looks like. Let's see what that does. Yes, the Yokai Ultrasonic Drones. Spending action, it's a drone. On completing the stand, all opposing located operators in the stand room receive a stun. So this is kind of a neat little twist as well. Because normally the drones are for the attackers only. The attackers have the drones they can send in. So yeah, here we have a defender that can use drones as well and send them out to find someone, but then instead of giving them yeah, which isn't located, but also stuns them all as well. So it's kind of cool. Keeps you from punishes the other team for like grouping together, which they might do if they're trying to disarm a bomb or rescue a hostage. They might be trying to like group together to like watch each other's backs, and this could definitely be a way to take them out. All right, that is what we have for Year 1 Reinforce. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Come back, check out the other 5 unboxings. See you guys then. Bye.